Well, gentlemen, you guys as a pair are off in the waste. But you've left behind civilization. You are on the hunt and the prowl for the next big find. For yourself and for others, you're kind of a bit of a scrounging phase. You've heard word that this old kind of hermit duster by the name of Gimble has stumbled on something, but he won't tell anybody what. And he won't tell really anybody where, other than he spends most of his time up in this old canyon up in the mountains. Most people don't really bother with Gimble. He's kind of a local loon, and obviously there's not a ton of people out here anyways, so kind of leave him to his own. But as rumor hunters and as seekers of lost things, and just whatever the next thing's gonna be, you couldn't help but wonder if Gimble did find something. So, following those rumors, you've pulled out from your Jeep that you've slowly been putting together as a crew, piecing together and repairing. You end up out in front of this canyon, and up ahead you just leads you in deeper into the mountains, and it starts to narrow, and you think, where Gimble might be. So we're just gonna give classic target a 12, and we'll give a timer of 1. So let's just have initiative for D20 to see who goes first, and then we'll just go from there.
Oh. So, yeah, Ace is preoccupied.
Just slow getting out of the car.
Yeah, I think he's mumbling, and he's not talking to anybody in particular, kind of to himself. But you realize he's also kind of mumbling and talking to the car. He's like, "Come on, you just did darn thing with the machine," and he's just kind of like banging on the dash, and then like kicking things and kind of like turning knobs that don't work, and he's just kind of engrossed in that.
Mm-hmm. Nice. What about you, KC?
He is appreciating the open air, the dryness of the high desert canyon here, and he also is pretty out of it in terms of actually being focused on his environment and checking out what's around. But I guess I'm going to look west here and give a flat whiz roll to see if I notice anything interesting. Oh, there you go.
For sure. As you're looking up in the distance, you suddenly see this kind of large flock of birds just suddenly take flight together, as if they've been spooked, and they begin kind of flying up into the air above the canyon and circling around.
Like they've been spooked.
Yeah.
I pointed out to Ace. I say, "Hey, old timer, what do you make of that?"
Ace is one of the reasons it's hard for him to be as helpful is he refuses to take his backpack off even when he's like driving the car. So he's like comically pushed forward into the steering wheel and like has his arms kind of bunched up together, and he looks like he's just like on a roller coaster. He's like so straight backed and has this big backpack on, and he's like craning his head up, looking up the windshield. Oh, those are birds. Those are birds right there. Not really getting the meaning. Not really catching on to what Casey is saying right away. He's like, "Oh, those birds are flying. There's a reason those birds are flying," and that's about all he has to say.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. Ace, what do you want to do?
Ace is just picking his way along the road, looking for any side of Gimble. I think with that opening roll, he's just kind of talking to the car, talking to himself, talking to KC, and just kind of a little bit lost in his own head. So I don't think he would notice too much, and he just would just be picking his way down the road.
Got it.
Game Master, how many bursts do we have on that 50 cal on the hood?
Oh yeah. 3 bursts. Okay. Well, as you guys are just marching along, you know, hearing the birds and the wind, you know, you guys seem to be the only 2 out here, so your footsteps and chatter echo against the canyon walls pretty easily, but the open air and kind of just gives you a moment of peace until it's suddenly shattered by a gunshot. As you're watching the birds that were up above, you suddenly see one drop, one kind of further in the distance, like on the far end of the flock, just drop out of the air and behind some stones. Again, the ringing echoes just, yeah.
Can we get? We saw the bird fall, so we know roughly which direction.
Yeah.
Not the shooter is, but where the quarry landed, right?
Yeah.
If I'm assuming it's like down the canyon this way and stuff like that, is there a way for us to either keep to the dappled sunlight of the here and creep a little bit further along to try to see if we can get a bead on that location?
Yeah, sure thing.
We'll do that.
Yeah, just give me a dex roll for stealth as you just kind of.
Oh yeah, I'm making noise.
Yeah, you're definitely making noise, but you are able to kind of creep your way, not so silently up, and eventually you find yourself kind of in this little. I keep grabbing tokens. You kind of find yourself in this a little oasis a bit. The desert canyon that you were in was dry and bare, but you creep through a few rocks, you follow in the direction of the bird, and eventually you find your way through this little slot canyon that breaks out into this kind of hidden spring where the canyon is filled with greenery, these hardy shrubs and bushes that drink from the clear water. And you can actually see one of the, let's you see one of the bird that dropped on the bank.
I'll look over at Ace.
Well, I think those whoever shot that bird's gonna come for that bird. We can take a pause and see who comes for that bird right there.
I hear you.
Mumbles, and he kind of tightens up the grip on his shield that he's holding, and his ice climbing pick is kind of hanging from his waist, but he's not seeing anybody rushing at him quite yet, so he's just kind of hunkering down and taking a look.
Yeah, why don't you give me a wisdom roll?
Great thing. Flat roll? Nope.
Okay. Yeah, so you're not quite sure where it is. The sound of the water in the spring is kind of overtaking it, but you think you might hear somebody coming, but you're not quite sure where. So I'm going to give a timer again of 1, and then we'll go back to you, Casey.
Not sure where. Let me see. Okay. We got water that's probably slowly running, but running water coming right here. So getting over to there is probably not what I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and stay posted up. I will reach down and see if I get some of this maybe slightly moist soil or mud and stuff like that and try to take down the glint of the gold plating on my AK-47 so it's not quite so obvious.
Nice.
And I'm going to crouch down behind this rock here with Ace, and we keep an eye out for whoever comes for the bird.
Mm-hmm.
So just to chat with KC, I think, Ace would bring up like, well, I don't think people in the waste are going to take too kindly to us just sitting here crouching all like this. I mean, I don't want to be caught unawares, but I also don't want them thinking we're going to pounce on them. Anything we can do about that?
On the bright side, we didn't take his bird, so he's got to be happy about that. Maybe that'll be a sign of goodwill.
Well, I just don't want to, whoever it is, be thinking we're setting a trap for him.
What do you suggest? You want to be a welcoming committee?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to welcome any bullets either. Maybe we can just kind of check it out and see what happens. But I think Ace is just feeling a little nervous that he doesn't want to spook anybody. So he's like, we just need to be careful that we're not spooking anybody. We're just doing our due diligence. Hands go up if they need to.
Understood.
Yeah. All right. Let's see who comes for this bird.
He gives you a confident smile, but you look like maybe he's of two minds.
It's like, now, Casey, you can just move that little index finger just a little bit away from that trigger, and that's all I'm asking, friend. That's all I need.
I hear you. He flips the dust cover safety back on.
Okay. Perfect.
With a winsome sigh.
Okay, either one of you want to take an action?
No, we're cool.
Okay.
I'm cool.
All right. As you guys are sitting there chatting, discussing what to do, and waiting to hear something about whoever's coming to pick up that bird, all of a sudden the stone just above your head kind of like explodes, and you see the pebbles, and you hear this ricochet, pew, and followed by this bang of a gunshot that echoes off the canyon walls. Immediately makes you duck for cover as you look around to see where it came from. He's like, and you hear this loud, "Oi! What you? Don't touch my bird! Don't touch my bird!"
Hey, we know it's your bird. Come on down and get it. Everything's cool. We're fine. You're fine. We have a nice thing going on. We're not screwing with each other. Come get your bird. Say hello.
I don't know who you are and what you're doing on my land, but what? And you can audibly hear him just get gruffly grumble didn't I tell last time I was didn't I tell them not to come up here?
So Ace is gonna call it look here, friend. We're friends. We don't want no trouble. Isn't that right, Casey? We didn't come here for trouble. We just came here. We're just checking things out. Not a problem. And he's just gonna motion and kind of point with his thumb to his backpack. He's like, I've got some things. Hey, they might be helpful to you. I'm willing to soothe your concerns. And he's gonna pick out just a folded emergency thermal blanket that is pretty obvious what it is, even folded up. It's shiny silver. So look, this is and he sets it on the ground. He look over that. My friend here has his weapon and he won't part with it, but I'll part with this. And we don't need your bird. We don't want your bird, and we don't want to die. So what do you say, friend?
All right, give me a charisma roll.
Okay, get +2 on the roll. There we go, 15.
All right. So as you're peeking up, a little bit, you spot this old man wearing this tall top hat, just sitting behind a tree and some stones, and you can see that he's holding a rifle down towards you guys.
I'm just gonna Ace is gonna kind of like nod his head and kind of point with his eyebrows and his eyes to kind of be like, that's, he's up there, to kind of let KC know where he's at.
Right on. Right on.
Well, that does look quite shiny, but gets pretty warm around here. I don't know about a blanket, but why don't you tell me who you are, or else I'll start shooting again, and I got a bead on you so fast you won't even see it coming.
Now we're here just looking for a man named Gimble, and we hear this as a canyon. We can find such a man named Gimble, and we're just here because, well, we love a good story, love a good yarn, isn't that right, KC? And he kind of like nudges KC with his elbow, like isn't that right? We like that kind of thing.
Absolutely. In fact, when people come on our land, we don't shoot them. We invite them to a nice bird dinner. They
You trying to take my bird? You suggesting take my bird? Yeah, that's my bird.
I'm suggesting that you make good friends and good contacts with people like us.
I don't know who you are. Okay. As you guys continue talking.
Come have dinner and find out.
Okay. So what I'm going to say is, as you're chatting, you get a sensation that you might be able to convince him one way or the other, but he's getting a little grumbly and gruff, a little agitated, just a little surprised that he's out hunting his dinner. Wasn't expecting running into you. So what I need is from you guys to get a heart of charisma effort, or just basic, over the next 2 rounds, to convince him. Otherwise, he starts shooting.
Fair enough. So you need charisma roll first, or?
Yeah.
So he's like, look, mister, you got the drop. You got the thing and you're on your land. Obviously, we're not shooting back. We're not running away. So maybe we don't have any ill intention. And I'm +3 charisma.
Whew.
Boom. And can I count? I guess I can't. No, I got to do basic effort. Let's do that. All right. +1, so 2.
Okay. And Ace is gonna call it and be like, look, I don't really know what to say here beyond we don't want to die. Did I mention that? Did I say that, KC, that we don't want to die? And he's like genuinely asking,
yes,
like,
sir, you did.
Okay. And just to be clear, we don't want your bird. You can have your bird just fine. We came out here because we didn't want trouble. We're looking for things that aren't trouble. Isn't that right, Casey? That we don't want trouble.
That's really our specialty.
Yeah, we don't want it, and we're happy to come to agreeable terms. Here's my charisma roll. Oh no. Okay.
All right. We're gonna take the timer down by 1.
That makes sense.
I
think he would have accidentally said something mildly offensive to the man without
definitely.
realizing.
He's also agitated because he's like, no. You're not just looking for stories and stuff. You came to steal what I found. I knew I shouldn't have told them boys back in town. I found stuff, and you're coming to take it. It's mine. I'm working to claim it, and I'll use it. And, get a new life, get out of here, own this land right and proper. But you're gonna take it from me. I can tell.
You're Gimble, aren't you?
Yeah. What of it?
Yeah.
You said
you're the guy we're looking for.
Yeah, but you're here
to
take my stuff.
You're the guy we're looking for. We're not here to take your stuff.
Just like you're gonna take my bird.
Can we bring you your bird, sir?
You can risk it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got one more round. For that. Oh, nice. Yeah, we're just gonna make them harder. You just got a nat 20, so.
All right. Okay. Possible.
It's possible. Do you have a bonus to your basic?
+1, so 1 more point.
1 more point. Okay.
All right.
So he might accept, having you bring him his bird if Ace
5 or 6.
Yeah. So, what this looks like is Ace takes off his backpack. He sets his stuff on the ground, and he's just both KC and Gimble would just be watching him, and as he's just unpacking it, looking, he's like, "Damn, where'd that thing? That's what I'm looking for." And he's just gonna reach way down to the bottom of his bag, and he is going to pull out something of great worth to Gimble, and he's getting a read on him of what that would be. But I'm gonna use that pack rat ability just to have just the right thing. And I think maybe what this looks like is he heard rumors in town about Gimble and kind of some different things supplies that he would pick up often, and he just he stashed a little bit away, just knowing, oh, this is something Gimble would like, and it may come in handy.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, you could probably pull out. You could probably pull out either some kind of mining equipment, so a spare pickaxe, or some jerky.
Maybe Gimble is before it got as rare as it did, he would love smoking a pipe tobacco, and maybe I just found this last little pack of good tobacco that he can put in his pipe. And so I think he kind of pulls that out and be like, Gimble, I heard that it's been a long time since you got to enjoy the small pleasures that the waste still offers. And it just so happens that I thought of you when I found this, which is not true at all, but, just so happens to be helpful. And this is not an easy item to find here in this waste, and I'm more than happy for you to have it. And as he kind of opens the little paper package, somehow, even from that great distance, Gimble would be able to smell it, for sure.
Oh, man. Is that O'Malley's?
Oh, it is O'Malley's, my friend, and I just am so sorry for any offense we may have caused. I'm sorry about your bird has had to lay there longer than you have sought out for that bird to be laying there. But here, we have O'Malley's, we have your bird, and you have some new friends. What do you say?
All right, give me one last easy charisma. I'll drop it all the way to easy.
Okay. Go. Yes.
Okay, give me that final bit of basic.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Nice.
Well done.
And you can hear you're watching, all of a sudden he picks up his gun. He's like, oh well, shoot, anybody who carries O'Malley's can't be that bad.
It's the finest flavor, I know.
So he starts trudging down, and he starts just trudging through the water, eventually over to pick up his bird, and he picks it up and just nonchalantly just shakes it like he's shaking a wet rag to get the water off. You see the feathers fly and the bones break, but doesn't seem to care. It's well, gentlemen, I'm sorry. You know how it is. Strangers show up in your place and just as likely to steal your stuff or slit your throat than shake your hand. That's
And
why I
I
carry
reach out
this.
and shake his hand.
Oh, well, thanks. Gimble, you already know my name, but I'm Gimble.
Well, thank you, sir.
And you there with the funny-looking gun, and you there with the big backpack. And he like automatically like goes over to take O'Malley's that pack from you.
And it's kindly offered, but at the last moment before he has his hands on it, as he is kind of getting the last moment, there's just a little bit of a pulling away. Just be like, now, Gimble, I just want to say we came out here. We'd prefer not to just turn around, and I would like you to have this gift and perhaps even more. But we did come out here for discovery, and I just would be happy if you were so inclined to aid in our discovery.
Well, I guess we can talk about it.
Excellent. I know Casey here is an excellent cook. Isn't that right, Casey? And that he has no idea if he is or not. He's like, I think Casey could cook up this bird just mildly well. It was really kind of you to just shake all the bones and just break them all in pieces like that. It'll be really easy for Casey to get them all out now. Isn't that right, Casey?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Excellent. Well, it's settled then. Let's go eat a bird.
All right. Well, come with me. Take a drink if you want. Fresh, clean water. If you need, and then come back. You can come back to my place. We can chat. My humble abode. Have some supper.
Graciously accepted, sir.
So you guys, he starts trekking off up in the up this path that it's gently worn through the foliage. It's a little bit of a hike, and it takes a touch of time, but eventually you find yourself up in his hut, where he kind of welcomes you in, and you can see that it's just kind of a shack of broken planks, pages, papers. He's got candles to light the place. A fire in the back where you can cook and basic supplies. But he sits down on his old chair and welcomes you to find a seat wherever you may.
Casey takes the carcass from him and heads toward wherever you cook stuff, which I guess will be kind of over here.
Yeah.
And whoa, I just zoomed in and didn't mean to. That's terrifying. That would be great if I could figure out how to make the VTT go back to normal.
If you click on the zoom or
got it.
The zoom button, it takes you all the way back to 100.
And I start picking shot out of this scrawny little bird that was laying in the sun while we were talking way longer than we should have, and start gutting it.
Give me a D20 roll with whatever stat bonus you feel applies to see how well you prepare this bird.
I will use cooking intelligence for +2.
Nice.
Nice. It ain't anything fancy, but you do successfully cook and prepare that bird.
Mostly lead-free.
Mostly lead-free. At one point, Gimble's like eating, and he does pick out a piece, but he just nonchalantly just like into a bowl. You hear the clink, and as the pellet, hits the metal.
Sure, it's not the first time.
No, not at all. You got to reuse that stuff. So, well, now that we're all fed with supper and nicely acquainted, tell me, what exactly are you hoping to find up here? I don't know what the boys told you. I thought I kept it pretty close to the chest. My big find, I like to think of it.
Yeah, I think
go ahead.
As Casey's getting the bird ready and stuff, Ace would have picked up things that looked very much like trash, like a splintered piece of wood, a scrap of paper, and just kind of stuffed it in his pocket, like, oh, I'll just save that for later. And at Gimble's question, he says, "Well, Gimble, now we just, well, to be frank, we thought of you, Gimble, and we thought of how it would have been just a shame for you to have something amazing in this place that is so unkind to people that reside in it that you couldn't tell anyone about it. And really, we're just here to be ears, isn't that right, Casey? We're just here to be a set of ears and just listen and just hear about what it is that you found. And we would just love to hear that story, Gimble. And we're good folks. You've seen that. We got you O'Malley's, and we're just we're just happy to listen."
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're facilitators of the waste.
Mm. That's fascinating. He used a lot of big words there that I don't quite understand, but that's okay. Well, I guess I can tell
That's
you.
the first time I've ever had a waste character with an intelligence bonus. That's why.
He kind of looks for a second, and you can tell that he's mulling it over, and eventually he's like, "Well, we did share a meal together, so I guess I can trust you too." He kind of leans in, kind of like, "Well, gentlemen, I found something old, something valuable up in a cave. Just a quick hike from here."
Casey goes completely flushed for a second as he's wiping the last of the bird grease off his fingers with a dirty rag, and he's like, "It's not snack cakes by any chance, is it?"
Nah. This stuff is it's heavy stuff. I don't know what it is, but it's just fused right into the side of the mountain. This thing. It just looks like so foreign and just so odd, like just encased in the rock. I don't know how it got there. What's it doing? But I found it. A few pieces were jutting out. They made it. Looked like it was made of metal, but no metal I've ever seen. It wasn't steel. Wasn't iron. Not copper. Not gold. Hard.
Well, that is indeed interesting, and I bet 3 pairs of eyes and 3 big brains might be able to figure it out.
And right as Casey finishes saying that, Ace just goes, "Well, it's settled. Well, words are failing you, so we'll just obviously have to see it. You guys have a good night's rest, and we'll take care of this in the morning." And he just makes himself absent and gets himself a little bed.
Just off to bed.
With goodwill, Casey is clearing the table and trying to rinse off the dishes in his bucket of tepid water that's sitting over here.
Well, as he's Gimble, for a moment is kind of like is a little surprised as Ace just like turns over and goes to sleep. But he kind of like looks to Casey and is like, is he always like that?
Yeah, it's best to just follow his lead sometime. It hasn't steered me wrong yet. Besides, he likes to get up early in the morning.
That's fair. Well, I guess he's right. I can't argue with wisdom of getting some shut eye. But yeah, I'll bright and early. If you wait too long, the hike is it's a bit hot and arduous.
As you guys are talking amongst yourselves, Ace abruptly turns back over. He's like, "Well, I hope you don't mind, but I've grown accustomed to this, and this is the only way I've really found to sleep. It just gets too quiet in the waist, too quiet." And he pulls out the hand cranked radio that makes like random white noise and like feedback sounds, and he like cranks it to full power and sets it beside his head, and it's just like a noisemaker machine. It's just sitting there. He's like, "Oh, that's comforting. That's good." And his eyes just close, and he goes to sleep almost immediately at the sound of it.
I'm just gonna roll to see how Gimble likes that one. He finds it fascinating and actually quite comforting. He's like, oh, I am sleepy. Well, I guess see you guys in the morning. And Gimble like immediately steps up and just heads off to bed.
Casey does what he usually does. He takes 2 rounds out of the top of his magazine, sticks some primer ends in his ears, and goes to sleep.
Okay. All right. Well, the evening passes and you wake up to Gimble, just like snoring, splayed out over his makeshift bed. You have to kind of like kick him to even get him to register. But eventually he gets up. You get some, dried salted meat for breakfast, and then off you go to the hike. Through the canyons, he leads you through some slot canyons, a few narrow passageways going up and up the stone, transitioning from bleached white to, in the shadowy parts, almost a deep, deep orange sunset sandstone. And eventually he gets you to a cave where he kind of guides you in. You can see him getting more and more excited. He's like, I'm just wait. I've been digging at it, picking at it. I see you got a pickaxe too. We might be able to make short work of this and really find out what's going on.
As they're walking through the canyons, Ace is gonna kind of whisper to KC where Gimble can't hear and just say, "Now, KC, I know that I don't know if we've discussed this before, but I've thought about different ways of which I would go about killing a man, and it seems like a good plan if I was to go into the mountains, say that I found something, and wait for people to come and to tap spaces like this. And I'm a little concerned about our friend Gimble here, and I just think should he try to kill us, we should prevent that. Would you agree, Casey?
Way ahead of you, man.
Okay, excellent. It's agreed. And they booze on the head.
Okay. So as you guys enter into the cave, Gimble kind of like takes you up and slowly, excitedly like, okay, it's just right here, right in the stone. And he kind of walks up and you can see this thing completely embedded in the stone, like not like set into it or anything, like actually the stone has all the way around it, as if this thing has always existed in it. And you can see parts of it jutting out, the top layer of it. You don't know how far back it goes. It's probably head and a half, if not 2 heads taller than any one of you. It's got this kind of semblance of a shape. You even see the glittering sides of kind of like a glassy dome that's slightly cracked, and you can see on the stone scratches and chips of Gimble's handiwork as he slowly excavated this thing. And he shows you the few pieces that are jutting out. He's like, yeah, just look this. He taps on it. You can hear the metal. It's like, you can just see how hard it is. No rust, nothing.
That is indeed wondrous.
Yeah, well,
Truly remarkable, Gimble. Truly remarkable.
Yeah, my grandmammy told me about this place and said she saw weird things too, and I came looking after she passed, and I can't believe she was right. She's telling the truth. I thought they were bedtime stories.
As we move up and get closer to the thing to have a good look at it, before I look at it, I look around and deeper into the depths of the cave just to see if I see anything or hear anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give me a wisdom roll.
It's bad.
Yeah, not quite. It doesn't go back far. You see some stones and things laying around, but it's not like a full extensive tunnel, from what you can tell.
Okay. Well, I got my fingers crossed and my safety off.
Okay. Ace, what do you want to do?
Ace has no clue what to do, so he's just gonna go up to the thing and just kind of tap on it. You know, like you knock on a door with like one knuckle. He just goes up and just kind of feeling it out. Like, truly, he keeps repeating, "Truly remarkable, Gimble. Truly, truly remarkable."
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you can hear that ding. All right, well, get your pickaxe and we'll make short work of this together. We'll get this pulled out, and we'll get to finally see what this is in the light. And he immediately, goes to work.
And Ace will join him.
Okay. So this goes on for, about an hour as you're digging and as you're looking through everything. The stones chip, the things echoing in the cave itself, or the chings and clashes of your pickaxe and other tools as you slowly work with Gimble to excavate whatever this thing is. But eventually, about that hour comes down. One of you gets this really good hit right in the center of it, and peel back this layer of sandstone, and it reveals another portion of the object, and it's kind of like a central kind of connective plate, and right in the center of it, connected in with like wires or other kind of infrastructure of the thing, is this round kind of inlay. And Gimble, stops for a second and looks at what you've done as he takes a breath and wipes his brow, and he's like, "What do you think that thing is?" And he starts fiddling with his shirt a little bit.
Well, Gimble, do you have any clue? Perhaps your grandmammy told you something that would be of significance in this moment.
Well, I was gonna tell you last night, but you guys, thought to go back to sleep. But
I was tired, Gimble. Now, please continue with your story and make haste.
Well, I told you my grandmammy told me about this place, but she also gave me her locket. And he pulls out this necklace, and it's on this brass wire chain, and the pendant itself is kind of this half dome, half sphere, and you can see that it has some odd markings on it, and it looks to be the exact same size as the thing that you just uncovered. And he's like, "Yeah, I've always been fascinated by this." He touches it, and a portion of the thing starts to glow, and he touches another piece, and that starts to glow, and touches another, and the whole thing starts to glow for a second, and clicks it again, and it goes away back to just a blank piece of brass and copper. He's like,
Gimble, you have waited long enough. Now insert that device into this thing, and we'll see what happens. We live a rather boring life of much travel and woe here in the waste, and you are holding the most fascinating object I have seen in this rather dull life that I have lived. So please, if you will not take any more delay, and let's see what happens.
"Okay." I was like, "Well, I guess if you say so." And so he slowly takes off the pendant and reaches forward, and sets it perfectly in the slot, as if it was made for that. And after a moment, it kind of latches on, and is held there by some unseen force, and it slowly starts to glow, this greenish, glow. But that's not the only light that begins to shine. After a moment, up above, the little glass orb that was also jutting out begins to glow red, as if something was coming, turning back on. And Gimble's eyes go wide as he thinks about all the stories that his grandma told him and all the time he spent searching. And as his eyes go wider and wider and wider, suddenly there's this flash of light. And these arcs strike out towards his eyes and his mouth. And he begins to scream. And you see this energy starting to get pulled out, this aura, this wisp kind of just rising from his body, and after a moment of hesitation, it just rushes into the machine, and his body drops limp. His eyes black.
Whoa.
Casey, have we just killed this man?
Technically he killed himself, but I hear what you're saying.
I'm rethinking my advice that he make haste with that device. I'm a little concerned of what is happening here, Casey. Do you have any idea what is happening here, Casey? I would really like to know. And definitely when Ace gets nervous, he starts to mumble Casey's name like ad nauseum. He just like adds it onto the end.
When we looked at the thing, were we able to look at the glass portion and discern anything inside it?
In what way?
Like,
was it translucent? Is what you mean?
Yes, he said it was glass. So yeah, I mean, not trying to use meta knowledge, but whatever the canopy is.
Yeah, so you can see that it's kind of like this inner working, and you can actually see wires and gears starting to click and turn.
Can I try to do a interroll to see if I can figure out how to get inside it?
Go for it.
17 on mod.
Okay. Yeah, you see that there's screws and things all around that you might be able to undo if you had some time.
But no lever or handle or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, well, this thing is active and it's a machine. There's something inside it, or a way to get inside it is what we need. But it's also a dangerous machine. So keep a distance, yeah?
Ace is gonna look at Gimble's body. He's gonna yell, like trying to get Gimble's attention. Say, Gimble, can you hear me? And then he's gonna like think about it a second. He's gonna turn back to the machine and he's gonna yell. He's like, Gimble, is your ghost in there? Is that Gimble? Is that you? And he's just gonna see if there's any response calling out to Gimble.
Okay. Yeah, give me a d20. Okay.
Got a 6.
Yeah, you don't register anything, but the creature turns to you, or the machine turns its glassy face towards you, and its arms just out of the stone. The whole place shakes as it steps forward, leaving behind a gaping hole in the space. Each one of you, give me a Dex save.
Good to go.
Nice. Okay. So as you guys do, you feel this this hole open up, and a sinkhole collapses beneath your feet, but you're both able to kind of jump to the side. But Gimble's body
darn it.
falls down in. Okay. The creature also falls in for a brief moment, and looking down, you can actually see the interior of a facility. No.
Oh man. Ace is gonna turn and again, just like for no needed reason, but just nudge KC with his elbow and be like, "Well, KC, it appears that we have found ourselves the story, just not quite the story that we desired. Isn't that right, KC? When you say KC, he's obviously just like very nervous."
That is absolutely right. And the biggest, coolest, craziest, most valuable thing we've seen in a long time just went down that hole. Maybe we could go after it.
Ace is gonna kind of furrow his eyebrows, squint a little bit, get the pick off of his that's hanging from his waist, and strap on the shield and be like, "Well, there's no time like the present. Isn't that right, Casey?"
That's right, old timer. You got that rope or something in that backpack?
Ironically, Casey, I am remiss to say I carry no rope.
Understood. How far down is it?
Probably about 10, 15 feet. Not too much.
Has the machine that came out of the stone like moved on, or is it still down like right below us?
Let's see. It's going to give me a D6 roll.
Yep.
Tell me which one you want more or which one you don't want.
I don't want to drop right on top of it if it's going to be aggressive. I just want to get in and see what's happening.
Okay. So it looks like it's there for a moment, but it will be leaving in just a second.
Okay. What do you say, Casey?
He said, "Yeah, we better get ready to do this, and maybe we can position at the edge of the hole, and when the thing moves, I'll try to drop down and not kill myself."
Okay. Let's see. As you guys prepare yourself, give me a charisma adrenaline check.
+3. Boom.
Okay. Ace, you're gonna take 1 adrenaline point.
Whew. Heart's starting to beat a little faster, Casey. Just a little bit faster. It's all right. I'm okay, but it's so weird.
He looks over at him and says, "No, hey, we got this, man. We got this." Thumbs up and a smile.
As you look at him, he makes it clear. He's like, "Well, Casey, say what you will about the ancient machine that just came out of the stone. I just really hate heights."
I hate being in caves and holes, so I'm right there with you on that. But we got this. We can do it.
Okay.
Okay, you see as you guys are talking, the creature or the machine starts, adjusting, getting back up to its feet, and it begins marching on through out into the next room.
Hey. Shall we?
Geronimo, I'm going for the hole.
Okay.
+2 dex. Try not to hurt myself.
Whew,
Yeah.
nice.
Ace is gonna drop with trying to let his backpack take his fall, so he's just gonna do a con roll.
Okay,
He makes it.
Nice.
nice. Okay. You drop in, and what appears to be an old meeting room, a large table, broken under the weight of the machine. You see that the machine is kind of busted through the door, and you can hear it stomping down the hallway. Okay. Carrying the necklace. Oh, we don't need. That's Gimble's body, I guess. So drop that back in there.
And that locket that he had stayed with the machine?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Casey, I think that small device that Gimble was carrying, it had a profound effect upon him. And he kind of gestures to show Gimble's body. But he's like, I wonder if removing would have a significant effect upon that machine. If things do become violent, maybe that would be a point of ingress.
I think that makes a lot of sense. It's very logical. I am mystified by that machine, but nonetheless, that makes sense to me. What do we see again when we look around? You said it was kind of an abandoned meeting room.
Yeah.
Can we start by looting Gimble just to make sure he doesn't have anything else of use to us?
Sure. Yeah, give me a D20. No, give me a D100 roll. Sorry. 56. He did have a bear trap on him, as well as he did have a hunting rifle, with 1 bullet left.
Oh, yes.
I'd toss that one to Ace.
Excellent. You have the trap.
The bear trap, on the other hand, that's a lot to carry, but it could come in useful, I suppose. What do you think?
Ace is just gives her mumph of like a grunt and being like, a lot to carry, like the nerve that you would say such a thing, and he just attaches it to his belt, and it's just like jingling down by his knee, not quite set yet, but he's like, you don't say no to things in the waist. Hey, Casey, that's an important lesson. I'll have to teach you so many more. And he kind of prepares himself to move along.
I will be more mindful.
Okay. Alright, that was Casey's. Ace, any actions from you?
Yeah, so he's gonna go to the area where the machine crashed and see if he can spot to make any sense of what the machine's doing next.
Yep, so you can see that it's like walking down the hallway away from you, as if he's looking for something.
Has the thing like had any sign that it's paying attention to us at all when it was like up above?
It did for a second until the cave collapsed, but then it's currently distracted and focused elsewhere.
Okay. I'm just I feel so curious as a player. I'm just so curious at what's happening. It's like I don't want to stop it. And as a player, I imagine it has nothing good for us. But I am so fascinated by what's happening. Yeah, I think I'm not sure what action to take that would be of benefit. Do you have any suggestions, Casey?
Yeah, well, we've not only discovered this incredible machine, but also this underground hidden complex thing, and I'm curious what else is in here and what the purpose of it was. I was going to find out if we could take a look at what else is in the room that we're in currently, not only for useful things, but also for a clue as to exactly where we are.
Yeah, sounds good. So, I'm gonna take a look around and then try to just keep one eye on the machine and make sure it doesn't get out of sight. And that's my turn.
Okay, yeah, give me a wisdom roll.
Okay. No bonus. 18.
Okay. So give me one more D20 roll.
Okay. 1.
You find in the corner a set of McGrady exo arms.
Oh. Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Doesn't have a lot of a charge left, so you've got probably, give me a D4 roll.
Mm-hmm.
4
There we
uses
go.
that will make your
Nice.
strength rolls easy. Okay.
Very
Okay.
nice.
But you also find documentation, old papers and books about this bunker and how they have reports of being a factory for steel net soldiers. How they were a research facility for the next wave of steel net technology that would help win the war.
Very nice.
Okay. Yeah, so seeing the devices and being able to kind of click them into place, Ace turns around and has his arms kind of like loaded up with these mechanical apparatus that are like surrounding his arms and coming around his neck and shoulders, and he's just starting to look pretty top heavy as he has the exo arm suited up.
Nice.
It's like this here was a factory of war. It was a factory of war, KC. There's so much death already. I can't stand any more death. Whatever that thing's up to, I can't imagine it's any good for anybody. I'm worried, KC. I'm real worried.
Well, at least you're well equipped now to be able to see if you can do some good in the world. Let's see if we can find out what else is going on. Keep an eye on that thing.
Yeah, I've got one eye on it. I've got a trap. I've got this. And he just continues to mumble and just kind of speak softly to himself and anybody else that cares to listen, of recounting all the things he has that would be of use.
Excellent, excellent. Is the machine doing anything?
Yes. So it continues walking and it goes out of view.
Okay. I'm going to go into what looks like the boss office right here and have a quick look around.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, give me a wisdom roll.
Flat whiz. No.
All right, give me a D100 roll.
Boom.
29. You find a blowtorch.
Ah, excellent.
Skull is 2, blank is 1. Skull, it has 2 uses.
Excellent. Thank you. I will use whatever meager movement I have left to regroup with Ace.
Okay.
Ace is going to hold up his shield, and is going to use that shield to kind of lead the charge as he rams through the wall, trying to keep up with the machine as he kind of saw it going this direction. So he's just going to attempt to smash through the wall completely.
Okay, give
Nice.
me that easy. Oh!
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
I see one blip of the battery bar on the exo arms like tick down as I just know these things are running out. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make a choice for myself that I take adrenaline when I see all
Yes.
this.
Yeah. give me a D4 roll for adrenaline.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep,
three
that's
more.
Yep.
Okay. You see, as you smash through the wall, you see this figure start walking towards a row of just dormant, identical soldiers, all just kind of like hanging on the wall, standing there, waiting. And you can see this one approaching slowly. So,
Oh man.
okay, we're gonna do.
This isn't good, KC. This isn't good.
Okay. He's gonna be start activating in 2 rounds.
Is there any process that's happening, or he's just making his way over?
So he's making his way over, and then on the next round, he's gonna start doing his thing.
Is there's like minimal power in this place or no?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Everything's still dark.
I come out into the hallway. I'm like, Ace, you all right there? You all right? He's looking a little, peaked. He's a little bit sweaty on the brow.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, KC. There's more than one. One was enough. Now there's more. It's a problem. We got problems, KC. Yeah,
all
there's
right.
more. There's too many.
Hold the line. Here I come. Let me go around the corner here, and can I see what's in this room? I can get it to ping. There you go.
Yeah. So that appears to be a little bit more storage. So give me another whiz roll.
Not much better.
Okay, give me a D100.
$86.
You find homemade torches. It ignites and burns for D6 rounds and provides dim light.
Okay. I pack them up. How many do I have?
Just one.
Okay. And I pop back out into the hallway where Ace can at least see me if he peeps out.
Okay. Alright, Ace, what do you want to do? So far, the soldier has been pretty focused on, looks like, reviving his fellows.
And has he made it to the other thing yet?
Yeah, so he's
okay. Man, I think I've got to get this thing's attention. I think he's Can I see where that like locket piece was?
Yeah, it's like right smack dab in the center of his chest.
Okay. Oh, okay. In the front of him?
Yep.
Okay, so with strength being easy and he's been encouraged by the ramming through the wall already, he is gonna like look down at the battery on his arms and he's gonna go for another round and he's just gonna put everything he has into it and just try to slam into the thing.
Okay.
Oh wow. Nice.
Just a running ram, just trying to knock him off of his plan.
Nice. Okay.
Can't be anything good.
Easy.
Here we go.
Easy.
Let's go.
Oh, rolling hot tonight.
That's awesome.
Okay, deal. What would that would be definitely tool. So D6 plus D12.
Okay. Just smashing into him. Here we go. Come on. Oh no. Okay, that's 9.
That is 9.
That's 9.
Yep.
We should have a grit if you want to.
That's true. I've got some adrenaline bump as well. Yeah, I'm happy to throw a grit in there. So I'm gonna toss it. I'm gonna toss a D10 plus 4. That's 10 more damage.
10 more damage. Oh man.
19. So I think what this looks like is he slams into it, and that initially starts, and as the thing wheels around, he's just gonna take his stop sign shield and just do a big old backhand across the front of this thing, just trying to move it away from the other soldiers in particular.
All right. So as you smack him, do you want to smack him up or do you want to smack him down? Like which direction you want to fling him?
I want him up against this. Is this a wall here?
Yeah.
Yep. I want to like kind of pin him there.
Okay, you can see that electricity starts to whirl. Starts to whirl as he kind of like, at the hit. He's gonna be stunned for a round.
Oh. KC, I need you quick.
I hear all the commotion. GM, do you need to do any other action on your turn?
Nope, that's it for me.
I run to the hole, and I can see that he's got it pinned against the wall, and that it's sparking, but it's also getting away. I'm going to draw a bead on it and touch off a round. I am +1 on Dex, which is not great, but that's what you get when you randomize.
That's enough.
Just enough. Just enough. Fortunately, I'm +4 on damage. So 5 points.
5 points, alright. Okay. Alright, the bullet hits and you see it scratches the metal and ricochet off as more electricity settles in. Yeah, you can see that after a moment it starts, coming back to itself, and the electricity diminishes, and it was stunned for this turn, but it will be back for its next round. KC, back to you, I guess. I guess we've been kind of in a weird circle, but that's fine. Back to the top of the round.
I will. I'm trying to make sense of what I'm seeing here. This is a desk here.
Yeah.
Is this over here? Is that a console or just like seating? I can't tell what that is.
I think it's designed to be like a sink, but it can be whatever you want.
Okay, let me. I'll run to here, what looks like a desk or something like that, and I'm looking to see if I see either notes or a computer or a ledger or anything that's going to give me some more information about what's going on.
Okay, yeah. Give me a whiz roll.
Flat whiz roll.
Nice.
Cool.
Alright, so you do find some documentation on this thing, some schematics, some details, and it's kind of pointing out that they discovered a way to harness the power of a human soul, right, in this medallion, right? And it's used to kind of operate and power the machine when all electricity dies, and it can spread quite easily to others. But it's critical to the system. Pulling it out takes some effort, but it compromises the machine at a catastrophically.
Okay. And so each of these soldier machines that's around here has a similar locket type soul device. Wow. Okay. Cool. Is it, and the damage that we did to at least that Ace did to the machine was not to the locket device, right?
Yeah, it was just
that was just general damage.
General damage, and it stunned it.
And I just tell him, I was like, this thing says the lockets are the key. You got to just pull that thing out, and I'll shut them down.
Okay. So hearing this, what I would like to know is this thing prominent enough where the jaws of a bear trap would fit on it?
It would fit on it. The question is whether or not it would stop it.
Right.
It's a metal leg.
Oh no, I'm saying like the locket. Sorry, I didn't clarify that.
Oh.
So the little medallion piece, is it sticking out enough where it could latch on with the jaws of a bear trap?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a fair.
Okay. Because what I would like to do is to use my turn to set that bear trap on that piece, and that way there would be like a chain hanging off of it that we can, like, even if this thing gets loose, we can start trying to yank that thing out and try to aid our progress in pulling it away.
Okay. All right. So you get the bear trap set on it, but as soon as you start interacting with the locket, it begins to glow. Okay? and that same energy starts. You can feel it tugging on you.
Ooh.
Okay, give me a D4 roll. Okay, you need to commit a heart worth of effort before your dying timer hits 0.
Oh man.
While
Okay.
you work
Okay.
at pulling that thing out.
Okay. Casey, my soul is leaving my body, Casey.
I run over, and tugging on the chain constitutes effort towards it, correct?
Yeah, it would be tool effort.
But I could also just shoot it at point blank range.
You could shoot it. It wouldn't dislodge the lock.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so that won't dislodge the light. Yeah, I'll do tool effort then. And I am +1 on tools. So here we go. Do I need to roll for strength for it?
Yeah. Let's go for it.
Okay, got that. And then tool effort +1. 3 total. Not a lot.
Okay.
Throw some grit on there if you want.
Yeah, since I got the other one, I'm going to go ahead and use our last grit.
Okay.
Okay, that gets it up to 8. That's better.
This is like an infinity gauntlet moment.
Okay.
Just get it off.
All right. So that brings it back to me, I believe. All right. So he's going to, as it's kind of like pulling in on Ace. It looks to you, KC, and it just backhands you across the way. So he's gonna do. That's a 19. Okay. And then he's gonna do 11 points. Whew.
Well, he took a point of damage for hitting me because spikes,
Spikes,
and I'm
all
down.
right. Okay, but he's backhands you across the way, but he doesn't move anywhere. He stays focused on his attention on Ace, he's currently grappling with and attempting to remove his soul. All right, that's it for me. You're at 8 effort for removing that locket. Okay, that's going to bring us to Ace. I think that's the order we've been going in.
Okay, there we go. And this is my last round that I have easy strength, and so as I'm looking down, the battery indicator on these mechanical arms has like a low battery, flashing, and then I'm just going to be straining against that chain, trying to pop that free. So here we go. Strength. Oh no. I got to use some grit here. Got to get it done. Okay.
Do we have any?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
we
two.
use
We have
them
2
both.
more.
Oh, okay.
We start with 4. So I had 3. So I get to add 4 to this roll. Oh no. 3 plus 6. That's just enough to get the successful attempt. And
You need
I've got to
this-
get 2.
Yep. With your tool
Okay.
effort.
And that pulls it off.
Nice. Well done. Okay.
I set my feet again as they kind of slipped for a second, and he kind of finds just enough purchase where he can lean all his body weight and use all the weight of his backpack as well with those mechanical arms and metal just groaning with the strain.
Okay. Well done. Your dying timer stops as you pull out the locket. Comes with you. Give me a charisma roll or a con roll, either one.
Charisma, it's an 8. So fail either way.
All right. Take one more adrenaline, and then just give me a madness roll.
Yay. Adrenaline's at a 5. I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good. I don't go crazy. Whew.
All right. Perfect. You've done it. Casey, give me a D4 and a D20. Oh, so close.
Ah.
Okay. That brings it to me. So you watch as you kind of look over, you see Casey down, lying on the floor. Ace is regaining his breath. You see as the creature and the machine starts writhing, electricity is sparking, the eyes flashing red, and it's just getting more and more kind of violent with his gestures. You feel like you heard a catastrophic failure is imminent. So this will explode very violently in 2 rounds, potentially taking out the entire bunker and all the soldiers with it. Okay. That's going to bring us to Ace.
Okay. So I know that Casey found some notes on these things, like schematics and notes. The specific information I want to review furiously as I flip through is, does the consciousness of a person remain when they're transferred to a machine, or is it just consume them as energy?
I hadn't figured that one out yet.
The reason I ask is I think this may be a way to save KC, where his soul remains, but maybe his body doesn't.
Got it. Let's give it a D6 roll.
All right. So
4,
what
5, 6.
what will
4, 5, 6 will say that the soul and the presence remains in the pendant. 1, 2, 3 will be it doesn't. It's converted to energy.
Okay. So he sees that it's just converted to energy, just become a mindless thing, and he just swears to himself. He's like, "Man, I'm running out of time." He unlatches and pulls off the mechanical arms because they're dead, and he runs to start dragging Casey's body back to the hole, just trying to figure out some solution that maybe he'll be able to get him. And he's just saying, "Don't die on me, man! Don't die on me!" Just trying to stabilize him. Okay.
Nice roll.
He's slapping his face as he's dragging him across the thing, just "Come on, come back! Don't go toward that light, Casey. It's not what you think it is."
I'm still at 0. I see that.
Yeah, you do need to recover real quick. Yeah, well done. Okay, give me that recover roll. Or yeah. Very well done. Okay, so you're back. So you get a 1 plus your con. And then give me a D4 roll and then a D20 roll. D4 for adrenaline, D20 for madness. Nice. Should be good.
Yeah, I'm at adrenaline 1.
All right. Do you want to move anywhere?
The hole is still up, correct?
Yes. Over here, it's still upwards.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm shaky. Let's go. I stand on the table and I look to Ace as let me boost you up.
Okay. All right. Timer's going to drop from 2 to 1 at the end of the next round. This thing is going to explode. You can hear it actually whirling and screeching. The electricity is crackling in the air, snapping and burning through it. You feel the energy building. So Ace.
Yep, I'm just gonna take his boost and try to get out of there and try to lend help.
Okay, give me
I lend help myself.
Give me an easy dex.
Okay. No bonus on this, and he's got all sorts of stuff hanging from his belt and his backpack. Yep. He just stumbles.
He's still got 1 grit left.
It's true. Oh man.
Reroll.
So, I don't know. I've got +5, so there's a chance to make it, and I gotta try. Here we go. Okay, so that's 13 added to the roll. What was my first roll?
Oh, that's right, because you were +5. That's
So, yeah.
that's enough. You got
Yep.
a 2 or a 3, one of the two.
15. Yep.
Okay. So, with Casey's help, you're able to boost yourself back out into the cave. And you sit there on the edge looking down to Casey, standing on the table below you.
Yep. I reach out the pickaxe to give him something to hold on to and see if I can heave him up.
Okay. It's going to be an easy dex, Casey. You need to make it, and you don't have any grit.
Oh, yes.
Odd 19 plus his help.
Nice. So you
And
find
as he pulls me up, I tell him, I told you we got this. Let's go.
Nice. As you guys pull yourself up, you can see it. You take one final look down at Gimble's body, and all of a sudden you just hear this, boom, everything goes black. Immense heat as you're thrust out of the cavern to land.
And
Just
poor Gimble.
splash. You see stones falling beside you. The water shocks you back. Give me one more D4 roll each of you, and gain that much adrenaline. And then give me a D20 roll for madness.
Oh. Yep. He loses it.
Okay. All right. Give me a D20. See what the result is.
His pupils narrow. His heart starts beating out of his chest. And I just sit there just laughing uncontrollably. A maniacal, heartbreaking kind of laugh. And a single tear rolls down my cheek.
Yep.
Casey's shaking you. He's like, pull it together, man. Pull it together. Pull it together. Good to be alive. Breathe the air. Breathe the air.
Yeah.
You just can't stop laughing for a good long while. It's a pained laugh.
Yeah. So as you sit there in the cool, refreshing water of the canyon, looking at the broken canyon wall, smoke still billowing out, everything seems to be collapsed in. No sign of the machines or any entrance of the bunker remain. Can you each of you give me a final frame as you guys close out?
Casey pulls himself up onto the nearest one of these rocks there and tries to make sure that his machine is clear in the muzzle and the barrel. I mean, his weapon is clear in the muzzle and the barrel, and he's as dry as he can be, which is not too good. And he notices that the gold-plated finish is scraped off on the front trunnion, and he's super pissed, and he just cusses a blue streak.
Nice. Ace, what about you?
Ace just stays in the water as it just kind of washes over him, and he just kind of floats there. And all that Casey hears for a good long while, at least until the sun goes down, is just stifled chuckles. And he just can't help himself, and his eyes are just kind of wide with like the shock of the moment. And that's the end of the scene.
Nicely done. Right on.
And the sun sets on your adventure of Gimble's Big Find.